Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome to today's AFK journey video. So in yesterday's AFK journey video, I actually talked about this major issue with the infinite AFK stage push. I think that's a problem from the previous season and it's still a relatively touchy issue this season as well, which I felt that we should talk about so that it raises awareness and allows the developer to see the issue so that they can make the necessary improvements. And moving away from the PvE side, right, for today's video we are going to talk about PvP. So if you guys are sort of interested in that infinite stage pushing issue, you want to chime in your feedbacks, you want to give your suggestions, your thoughts about the issue, feel free to visit the video in the card above as well as the description down below to actually look at the video and then give your comments to give feedback for the game itself. So now for today's video, we are going to talk about PvP. So usually when I play my own PvP, I do a lot of testings with different teams against some of the strongest team setups and combos out there. And in today's video, I'm going to share a relatively powerful combo which features a very powerful old duo, which is Eironn and Ulmus right here. So Eironn Ulmus used to be like this king of the meta in the Song of Strife season, in even normal arena itself, because of the ability to control the enemies immediately and also combine with a whole bunch of burst units in the backline, right? So Eironn Ulmus Arden +1/+2 is usually this Eironn Ulmus combo that I talk about. I think this team is still relatively strong if you give it the correct circumstances, but for this season specifically, I think it has gotten a lot weaker because of a few mechanics. Number one, we got Dunlia. So if you are fighting against somebody who has Dunlia, you pretty much get shut down. You can't use your ultimate, you just lose the fight. We have Lily May, which cancels Eironn. So if your team is not prepared against Lily May, if you're using Eironn Ulmus, boop, cancel his ultimate and then your combo don't go through and then you just like have issues with continuing your what you want to do for the team itself. And number three, right, this is probably one of the biggest reason, is the factional talent right here. So my opponent has a level 36 blood rage stat talent, very powerful PvP wise. So this ability allows your unit to teleport to the area with the most enemies, right? Gives the shield as well as the ability to do damage, but most importantly, why is it strong against Eironn Ulmus is because of the unaffected in the first 12 seconds of battle. So it means the very initial pull and control thing is not a factor against this factional talent team. And on top of that, if you do manage to bring the carriers down, you are still faced with the issue of this immunity to the first fatal blow and even more unaffected and life drain to recover HP itself. So against this factional talent, a lot of the Eironn Ulmus team variances, they have issues winning because number one, you can't burst them down. Number two, you can't control them. So a lot of the control abilities are not gonna perform really well against this team setup, which is why right now, right here, we're gonna talk about a brand new offensive strategy with this duo, which features the combination of Eironn Ulmus together with the Mauler factional talent. So I'll be featuring Shakir for sure, because Shakir is a unit that provides the Lupin aura to benefit all the units on the front line, and we have Eironn and Ulmus on the front line, so they will be able to benefit from this. With regards to the other two slots, I think it's relatively flexible. It depends on who you have in your collection as well as who you are dealing against. So looking at the opponent's team, we have Elsa, we have Odie, we have Mikola, as well as our dear Coco here. So I will be using my own Odie because I don't think the units here are good against Odie in a long sort of fight. So I want to also use Odie to bring the enemy down ASAP. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to give this resonating spell to Odie. And another unit which I would like to feature is Coco for this one, because Coco's shielding is pretty strong with the inbuilt heal. I think Mikola's also fine, but the opponent has Elsa, which is able to move around, so I might not be able to hold onto my Honor Arena if I use Mikola here. And I think giving Eironn the damage reduction energy regen with Coco's skill is a lot better, so that Eironn can spam the ultimate in the middle of the enemy. Okay, then we will be putting Ulmus here, so that Ulmus can be the tank and combo with Eironn. So against my opponent over here, this team is not the best because of those issues I mentioned earlier, the control as well as, oh wait, actually I can use type cost spell because we have the insta ultimate, we also have our low cost, so we can start spamming against the enemy. Really good stuff. So the combo here is Eironn Ulmus pulling everyone together, right? So you are able to pull everyone close And that's where when the prime carrier teleports to the area of the most enemy, the damage impact from the X ability is maximized. So comparing my fractional talent here, I'm only 30 on Blood Rage Step because I'm more invested in the Light Bearer as well as the Celestial Hypogean fractional talent. So mine is a little bit lower, but pretty much the same effect. So what will happen here is Eironn Ulmus will start the combo, pull everyone in, my prime carrier jumps in to do damage, and then we will be able to slowly wither the opponent down from there. So here, OD also synergizes with Eironn in terms of the magical damage reduction, allowing OD to hit a little bit harder because whenever you reposition enemy with Eironn's ultimate, you will gain this magical defense down on the enemies itself. Really, really good debuff, additional damage and additional debuff for OD to do more damage. So for my next few teams, I think we'll go with this one. Okay, I think we go with this, should be fine. Mirror. For this one, I think since he's using the thing, I'll be using my... Yeah, I'll probably be using my Light Bearer here with Resonating Spell. With the light, you see my fractional talent is 38. So my fractional talent for Light Bearer is stronger here, so I'll use it against the... Oh, opponent information had changed. Okay, my opponent changed mid-battle. Pretty unfortunate here. But yeah, let's just take this guy on, I guess, with the same teams. Okay, so we do this, okay. Tarsi is here. Oh, there's an Eironn Ulmus here. Interesting. Okay, if that's the case, I will feature the Mauler here. Because, yeah, he's not able... Okay, so you can see the power of why Eironn Ulmus is countered here. Because, yeah, your Eironn Ulmus is not going to do anything against this team. Because they are control immune, you can't control them. So the Lily Maid is going to cancel my ultimate. So in this case, one of the substitute we can do is featuring our dear old friend Brian over here. So we're going to put Brian over here. We're going to just use the Maulers to the front line. We'll use Brian to bait out the Lily Maid. And then this is okay. Against this one, I think using my Light Bearer team should still be the way to go. Yeah, should still be the way to go. Okay, so let's go. Let's start this battle. We'll run through the post-battle analysis later. Most importantly, it's on the last team because that's a combo I want to talk about. Okay, so Mauler, we're going to use Light Bearer. We have our Light Bearer at a decently high tier as well. So we should be able to deal with the Maulers decently well. Hopefully we... Oh no, our Hewin died unfortunately. So this, you can see the power of the fractional talent as a whole. So yeah, I think we might be able to do better. We have better sustain. So we got busted down, it's okay. First stage loss. Think we should be able to win the next two. So let's continue the fight. Okay, pull everyone. Okay, we have more stats and we have the stronger unit combination against Ludovic as well. Yeah, so should be fine. Okay, we beat the team, nice. Let's go with this one. Yeah, so this is the team that I want to talk about. So Eironn pulls everyone. Okay, unfortunately, I think I mispositioned Eironn Ulmus. I mean, Eironn and Brian. So I will actually eat that Lily Maid cancel. But you can see the power of the team, right? So the idea is you pulling the enemy together and then your prime carrier jumping in to use the X on as many targets as possible and then sniping them down. So I have a few other replays later on which I can show you guys with regards to this team. So this is just showcase number 1. Okay, managed to win the fight. Okay, so this is the idea, as you guys can see. So the Mauler prime carriers are just really, really strong. That I think if you run Eironn Ulmus together, you actually elevate that team itself. So why is it only a good offensive team? Because offensively, you guys can see, right, I do a lot of experimentation and I do lose a lot. But losing is not the thing because I learn stuff every single time I fight and then I try to experiment with my ideas. So right here, I'm going to showcase this Eironn Ulmus combo. Right, so here, let's start this replay so you guys can see it for yourself. Okay, pull everyone in. So right here, the opponent doesn't have any way to cancel the ultimate. We pull everyone, we get a control on them, and then the prime carrier just jumps to the back line to get to work. So in this case, we were not able to control the enemy such that we prevent the honor arena because the opponent has a eagle which jumps around. The opponent also has prime carrier which dives towards my middle of the map, which means that they got control. But right here, we are able to wither the opponent down until the Tarsi comes online. In fact, there's actually this Tarsi Mauler team that some people actually shared with me, but I'm trying to gather more replays and ideas of the team to showcase to you guys in the next few days. So there's another team which is actually rising up as well based on my Supreme Arena run knowledge. Okay, so we're going to showcase another team idea. Okay, So I don't actually run the team a lot on defense because I personally think that this comp on the defense is quite easy to counter. Like it is a comp where, like I mentioned earlier, if the opponent has a Dunlea to shut down your Eironn, you lose half the fight, right? Because your idea is to just start off the fight with Eironn Ulmus repositioning. If you can stun, that will be good. Like the stun is a good combo. The reason why we run Ulmus is because we want Ulmus as a tank. We want Ulmus as the additional control. So the stun is good, but the thing is, it's not needed, right, in this team. The repositioning is actually the more important thing. So that's why on the defensive side, it's not good, because when you cannot get Eironn's ultimate off, you can't reposition. You don't have that prime carrier reposition advantage, as you guys can see right here. So pull everyone, you get the X on as many units as possible, making it a mini AoE bomb, right? So that is one of the things that you cannot do if your Eironn ultimate doesn't go through. So that's why on the defensive side, it's not the best. And the thing is, on offense, you can actually take out Ulmus and put in Bryon, so that you let Bryon be that ultimate sponge for the Lily Mace ultimate. But in the defensive side, I think Bryon in the defensive team is actually pretty vulnerable. So it makes your team a little bit weaker on the defense, which is why I don't encourage this team to be used on the defensive side. Decently good against the offensive side, because this fares really well into a lot of different matchups, except for maybe the full Mauler setup. I think full Mauler against this team is insanely strong. So you can also run full Mauler yourself, but against most of the other teams out there, I think this team on the offense actually does really, really well. Yeah, so right here, let's continue. For example, Showmaker a few days back. Okay, start this replay once again. So the idea, you guys can see, pretty consistent. Pull everyone together, jump in, right? So you have the damage from the X, you have the damage from your OD carry, your Mauler carry that you're using. You have the tanking power from Ulmus. You have the control power from Eironn and Ulmus. You have the repositioning as well, making this team really good on the offensive side. Okay, so let's go with 2 times. So when would you want to use this over a full Mauler team? Okay, 2 scenarios. Number 1, when your Eironn Ulmus is really, really invested, and when all your other Mauler characters are not as invested, at least not Brutus, not Lumon, not Antandra, you can use this combo, right? So that's case number 1. Another reason why you would want to actually use this combo is when you want to use Eironn's repositioning and control prowess against certain matchups. So what the Mauler usually lack is control. So Eironn Ulmus provides for that if you don't have Lumon in that control slot for this team specifically, or for the Mauler factional talent. So yeah, those are pretty much the pointers for sharing for this point. Hopefully this offensive team is helpful for you guys to net more wins on the Supreme Arena side. And thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like, subscribe to see more. See you guys again in my next video. Bye guys.